Huntley on the move with the middle, and no slide. Knocked down at the 40. Lamar, of course, with just one win in a playoff career. That's what he needs to do. He knows that. He's thinking Super Bowl, but just getting going in a playoff, making a run, playing your best in the postseason. 1-3 is his record.
And Chris Lewis, that's, I think, in part why they went to Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator that comes over from Georgia. The reason why. Third down in the playoffs, and you got to throw, and you got one shot. That guy that on your screen is the reason why he's the coordinator right now, because he takes Lamar and gives him the chance to do that. There's
a third down throw right at the marker. The catch is made by Isaiah Likely, who's been a big part of this offense resurgence.
Yeah, he sure has. Look, back in a couple of years ago, they drafted 2 tight ends, both in the fourth round, and Likely and Charlie Kohler. And Likely has become an absolutely fantastic weapon in the absence of Mark Andrews. And speaking of weapons, you want to know another reason why Lamar Jackson has taken a jump up and why this offense has become more explosive? They have better weapons for him on the perimeter.
Yes.
When you add Odell Beckham and Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman stays healthy, this is what happens.
And there's a sack. Swarming in and getting after the quarterback is Mark Robinson from his linebacker position, the first sack of the day.
This is exactly what happens when Pittsburgh plays Baltimore. They send extra rushers on a regular basis because, again, they want to go ahead and force the issue with the quarterbacks regardless of who's playing. It's always been Mike Tomlin's philosophy against the Baltimore Ravens, especially since Lamar Jackson has been here.
At the first meeting, they blitzed 50% of the dropbacks. That's their highest blitz rate of the season against the Ravens. They've never been, Tomlin says, afraid to come after Lamar Jackson.
And you know, and why did he say that? He said that was because he learned this playing against Michael Vick in the NFC South.
Hill leaps out, makes the catch, but he'll be wrestled down at the 40. It'll be third and extra long. Laura?
Chris, you guys are talking about Todd Monken coming here. Lamar Jackson told me his offense is like fireworks going off for the quarterback. He also said he thinks he's learned how to win in the postseason. He hasn't done it a whole lot, as you guys mentioned. He knows that's what he needs to do, but this is a team that he feels like has taught him a lot, and he's prepared to go on a run with them.
Monken liked the firework line, but he did say it was more like a sparkler. It took some time to get things going, click this season. Huntley on the move, escapes the pressure. A long way to go to get the marker, and will just fall down short of it at the 47.
To your point, why it took some time. You know, they started with wristbands, then Lamar didn't want to do the wristbands because he wanted to call the plays, and Coach Monken was like, okay, and then they went back to it, and it just took some time in that first month. While they won, for this offense to really gather its footing, and it obviously has taken off.
They feel now, guys, with the new style of offense, many more ways to win football games, right?
Absolutely.
Not just get the lead and run it. Yeah.
Yep.
And this punt, use of the soggy field there, roll dead at the 3-yard line. So good job there. Stouts punted well in these conditions. And Steelers, if that fumble the last possession, will take over inside the 5. There's a flag against the Ravens. Make him re-kick it. We had some procedural situations on these punts today. As I said, it's a day when the simple things aren't easy, right?
Did you play special teams, I would imagine, a bunch in your career?
And eligible downfield, kicking team number 30. That 5-yard penalty is enforced. It's still 4th down.
In these situations, you always heard, make him kick it because the guys who just ran down the field are tired. Real thing?
Yeah, it's a thing, absolutely. Because then you could think maybe you can set up a return because maybe the gunners aren't getting down there as fast. And yeah, I played a few snaps on punt and punt return and on special teams. And on a day like today, this is where you earn your money.
Question for you, Lewis. Were you ever the ineligible man downfield on a punt, though?
No, but I never was that, but I was an eligible receiver once, and I did catch a pass.
Hey!
And that was sweet. That was sweet. Right up until I turned and looked and realized everybody was trying to hit me.
I got to find that tape. Just out back to work, and another one bouncing, and it's going to go into the end zone. Another flag is down, so stand by. Treadwell tried to down it, but the wrong kind of bounce.
I think this flag is going to be on Pittsburgh.
So we don't get to take 3.
I think there's a tackle by the return unit.
No. Signal a hold.
Yeah, they had the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Now they got it right. There we go.
Hold is on the Steelers.
I'll tell you this. You could call holding on absolutely every punt return.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 83. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
I don't know if Brad Allen's having any fun out there today. No, it's no fun to be an official either. Of course, the playoffs begin next weekend with the Super Wild Card presented by Verizon. 6 games over 3 days. One epic weekend as the road to the Super Bowl in Vegas begins. Again, with a victory today, the Steelers clinch if they get some help. They need the Dolphins to knock off the Bills or the Titans to knock off the Jaguars. A tie would help them get in. There's a scenario where they tie this game or even lose this game and still could get in, but it's more complicated. Backed up at the 10. Harris has to bounce it and able to pick up a couple. This Ravens defense coordinated by Mike McDonald, who went from John Harbaugh to Jim Harbaugh, Michigan, then back to John Harbaugh, and one of the bright young defensive minds, I think, in the game.
Yeah, he has earned everything he's gotten here with this Baltimore Raven organization, starting as a volunteer intern and just working his way up through the ranks. And he was fun to talk to. And he talked about the fact that, hey, look, we can't let George Pickens get going in this game. And he walked us through how they were going to have a plan for when they were going to press him, when they weren't, when they were going to give safety help. And so far, they have limited him in this football game. And they need to continue to do so.
Rudolph from the pocket, zips it across the middle. Harris slips a tackle. Najee runs sideways. Instead of turning toward the marker, actually went laterally, and you see knocked him down.
That's exactly what they want Najee Harris to do. You want to get big man running lateral instead of north and south, and that's how you always try to attack him, inside out, and make him turn his shoulders. As long as Najee is going that way, you have a chance, because then you can just kind of get all your guys rallying to the football. And now here on this big 3rd down again, let's see what Mike McDonald's plan is for George Pickens, who he has kind of blanked so far in this football game.
Rudolph has not looked his direction, which is very unusual, and part of the conditions playing into that. They try to run for it on 3rd and 3, and Warren is stopped short. Brought down by Van Noy. 4th down.
Fantastic play by Kyle Van Noy. I don't hate that play call. You're getting coverage. Everybody's rotating over the top to George Pickens, as Lewis has kind of talked about, and Van Noy just does a fantastic job shedding the block of Freiermuth in his 10th year. The wiggle that he has, it makes really a one-on-one block to prevent Warren from going to get that 1st down.
And Chris, you see the wind and the rain kind of going sideways.
It's a low boot by Harvin, and he's going to take a favorable bounce. Kylan Wallace didn't get up and field it. It's going to cost him about inside. And that's a short gain for Gus Edwards.
I mean, just look at some of these additions that he has made offensively and some of the changes. You know, he brings in Todd Monken. Obviously, he said he's a wide receiver coach at heart. And now in his 1st season, he's taking this offense to new levels. T. Martin goes from wide receivers to quarterbacks. He brings in Greg Lewis to tutor the wide receivers. Willie Taggart, he said, is a superstar. We know who George Godsey is to coach the tight ends. I mean, he touted all of these guys as just rock stars with multiple head coaching candidates. And you can't argue with it.
Short throw. Hill's got it. That's a thing that his younger brother does well too. You attract, you spot great coaching talent, then you inspire them, give them some space to do their job.
Absolutely, and just let them develop the relationships with the players and develop their skill sets. And you know, Mike McDonald had a great quote. He said, look, when you just hire good people, good quality people, and you entrust them, you inspire them to go ahead and reach their full potential, good things happen. And then on the defensive side, look, he made some changes there too that have worked out spectacularly as well.
Pass was ruled incomplete, so it's a 3rd and 9. This has not been one that Todd Monken would like to put in the time capsule so far. They have 5 yards passing. And finally a downfield pitch and a catch. And been the guy he's looked for. Juan Treadwell. First time this year he's made a catch.
It starts with help on TJ Watt. They block him, and then Treadwell comes from the left. He flattens his route to get in front of the free safety. And just a really good touch throw by Huntley. Up over some trailing defenders, right in stride to Laquan Treadwell.
Treadwell, who was a very versatile weapon in Ole Miss, now in his 6th year. Picked up from Seattle in the offseason. Edwards through a crease, makes a cut, and Gus the Bus rolls down inside the 25 from nowhere. This Ravens offense has come to life.
And just what a great cut and a great read. You got the pullers coming to the right, and you see him there kicking out on TJ Watt, and then Gus Edwards just absolutely goes to work. Just looking at him weaving on a bad track through traffic. And I'll tell you what, Gus Edwards, in the absence of J.K. Dobbins, who they lost in the beginning of this season, has really picked it up and had a fantastic year in just about every way.
So the concern there, Eric Rowe, who made the tackle out of the game. TJ Watt to stop there, but they're already down. Fitzpatrick and Trent Thompson. They don't need a safety to go down hurt today.
And one of the things that they had a rough patch this season defensively, Pittsburgh. One of the reasons why was they lost some of their internal players, both in the 2nd and 3rd level, linebackers and safeties. Tight ends started to have success in the red zone, and Mike Tomlin said, Eric Rowe coming over and just kind of solidifying their red zone defense was a big reason why they settled down.
They crowd the line on 2nd and 12. Huntley back over the middle, and the catch is made. And Isaiah Likely dives to the end zone. Dormant for about 26 minutes. The Ravens come to life. 27-yard touchdown strike. And that's why Likely has become a likely target for the Ravens quarterbacks. Been a real bright spot for this offense. The man out of Coastal Carolina in his 2nd season.
Yeah, you see him just running the Y seam right down the top of the numbers. And if you don't reroute him and you don't get someone to carry him and buy some time for the free safety, that's what happens.
It's Likely's 5th touchdown since week 12. Tied for the league lead among tight ends in that time span. 7 apiece now.
And you see here, it's basically just a 3-deep type of scheme. And you're seeing, again, Likely running down the top of the numbers. And you see the free safety there, Patrick Peterson. We talked about the fact that they've had some injuries at the safety position. Patrick Peterson is making the transition to safety, both out of necessity and out of the fact that he wants to prolong his career. Late break on the football. Result is 6.
It was a rough start for Tyler Huntley. He hit 5 yards passing before that drive. A couple of completions worth 51 passing yards there.
And really the 2 completions, the touch on the throws. You saw that 3rd down to Treadwell on the crosser, and Lewis, you mentioned it, that throw to Likely. They bring the backside backer. TJ Watt drops, so he's kind of in between where Likely and Huntley are. And he just throws the ball with touch right up over the top before the corner gets there. 2 very, very good throws. And asking Huntley, hey, which one of these guys pass catch wise do you have the best connection with? And he talked about number 80, Isaiah Likely, saying that's the guy that I want to try to get the football to in passing situations.
Whenever you're running a 3-deep scheme, the safety in the middle of the field, if you do not give them some help down the seam, you're putting the free safety in a bind.
71-yard drive in 6 plays, and the kickoff will just roll down at the 5. He touched it while he was out of bounds.
Smart, very well coached and prepared special teams unit.
With BK over there was a flag thrown.
That's going to be a penalty on Baltimore now.
Because he was able to make it an out-of-bounds kickoff with the touch.
Yep.
It was a slow motion thing. You let the thing. You got to have a little nerve. Let the thing.
He was sitting there wondering
down there.
First down.
So that puts the ball at the 35. Back in 30 seconds.
I'm not going to ask her. Are you an alum here?
No, I'm married to Tim.
Ah, shiver me Timbo. Did he ever tell you the inner tube water polo story?
Yes, I have heard that a lot this weekend.
Hey, guys. Timmy Timbo, you got married?
Where's the invite, dude? I crush at weddings.
Are you betting against the home team at their own homecoming?
They are so soft against the run.
And their secondary's trash. Just remember to act sad when they lose.
Little buzz in the building now. These fans were freezing and sogging wet and watching their offense do nothing until that quick strike drive.
Can Baltimore get George Pickens going? Excuse me, Pittsburgh offense. They got to get 14 going.
Hand it off straight ahead to Warren. I mean, Rudolph just said, it's so simple, my job, when I throw the ball, just look for 14 and 10. But hasn't looked his way once. And remember, he did really hurt the Ravens in the first minute. He caught a game-winning touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Some big plays, and they said they would cover him differently.
And they absolutely have. They have a great plan for him so far. They're going to make it very difficult to get the ball.
And score some touchdowns, Houston wins.
Also get Kirk Herbstreit's thoughts on the Wolverines and the Huskies at halftime. Warren will be tackled behind the line. Little extra energy now. That punch out, that takeaway by the Ravens defense gave them a spark, and now the offense is built on that.
You see Patrick Queen right there, one of the two Pro Bowlers of the off-ball linebackers here in Baltimore. He and Roquan Smith. He's turning up the heat a little bit. You love to see it. Love to see it. This is a big third down, though. So if you're Mike McDonald, again, you're thinking, take care of 14, take care of 18.
Yeah, here's George Pickens. If they're going to roll this safety here, this has got to be a Freiermuth play where he works the middle of the field.
Freiermuth, known as one of the better guys to work against the zone, and he's found some spot along the sidelines, and the former Penn State tight end moves into Ravens territory.
And this is why Pickens matters. And I love the fact that Pittsburgh puts him in the slot. You put him away from Freiermuth. Patrick Queen just has his eyes inside. You clear coverage on the outside. And he really has the option route. Inside defender stays there, run away.
It's a great play call, great design on the part of Pittsburgh. If you're Mike McDonald, you're saying, hey, look, we're going to take our chances. Sure. We're just not going to let you throw it over our head. If you want to throw the football there, throw the football there. We'll rally and tackle. But we're not going to give up the big play.
The throw on first down. Again, the check down, and Warren tackled. Short gain by Phillips.
And this is a huge drive. You know, in talking with Coach Tomlin yesterday, Coach, what is this game going to come down to? He said, we specifically, multiple times this week, did 2-minute drill, because this game will come down to 2-minute drill at the end of the first half and at the end of the game.
He's saving his timeouts. Rudolph just gets that away before being hit. And Warren has first down yardage before Van Noy got there and wrecked the play. It was close.
This is a great job again. Mason Rudolph hanging in there as Van Noy's basically ripping him down and gets it off to Warren. I love the fact that Warren catches that ball and just gets vertical.
What it is here, look at that, it's just barely. Kyle Van Noy, look, another one of those guys, another one of those smart pickups by the Baltimore Ravens front office, and he's being tutored and being coached by another one of these assistant coaching additions in Chuck Smith. It's just paying off for the Baltimore Ravens here defensively.
Dan, good strength by Rudolph, upper body and also hand strength to keep hold of that ball. He was hit pretty solidly as he let it go.
Yeah, big time. And that's, again, Mike Tomlin talking about the experience. You know, and I think for Mason, he's got a little bit more conviction and trust in that pocket. He'll hang in there just a little bit longer. We've seen that a couple moments today. It's paramount for him right now. Completions are good. Don't hold on to that ball. No sacks. At minimum, you're trying to get 3 points to end this drive.
Backpedaling. Ball pops right up in the air, bouncing around and recovered. Rudolph says it was a pass. Clowney in there on the pressure. If they rule that a fumble, would be a sack, which would be big for Jadeveon Clowney. We'll explain that in a second.
Gosh, that's close.
I mean, you just see Jadeveon Clowney again with the great get-off, the great cornering agility, and front and coverage all works together. You see Mason Rudolph, we're talking about the fact he likes to hang in there.
Please set the game clock to 31. 31 of the game clock, please.
But Lou, we just made the point. Like, you can't hold on to the football there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, they did a nice job as far as their eyes picking up the crossers, making sure everyone had good vision on where Mason was trying to throw the football. He really didn't have anywhere to go with it. And that's just, again, a nice continuous adjustment on the part of this Ravens defense that has shown the ability in their zone coverage schemes to be fantastic.
So Clowney with that sack gets him to 9.5, and that's a big number for $750,000 bonus. He hits his plateau.
Think he might be happy?
Look at his.
Think he's happy? Look at him. Just look at his reaction.
That dance is worth $750.
I mean, no one knows why he's doing that right now in the stands.
His teammates
But we're
know.
telling him.
Hey, good for him, though. He's kind of rebuilt his career in many ways this year.
He has been solid. 15th start. He's played in every game. Hasn't done that often in his career. And the fans are picking up on this.
He's like, it ain't cold out here.
30-year-old has come up with the important sack, a lucrative moment for him. He said that was definitely not incomplete, right? Tom went over to spend the timeout down to 31 seconds. So let's see what Rudolph can do here. He's over the middle, and it's complete.
This is such a smart defense, and this chess match that's going on right now, you just kind of love it.
Right, they should not be going fast right now.
Pressure closing in. That ball's knocked out loose again, and the Ravens fall on it. Roderick Washington makes the recovery, and Van Noy this time wasn't a fraction late. He got there in time to knock it loose.
And great job by Baltimore defensively, but that's why I said don't go fast there. You're 3rd and 12. Your quarterback is holding on to the football. Van Noy and Clowney have both gotten home recently. I would have loved Mike Tomlin to just let that clock drip down there, waste your final timeout with 3 or 4 seconds, and let Boswell try to get a long field goal off to end the half.
Well, Tomlin talked about the importance of the 2-minute drills. That could be decisive. The fact that they got pushed back and didn't get a chance to come up with points there.
Boswell's got the leg. He's got the leg to kick a 52, 53-yarder. He's used to this weather. 3rd and 12, you're not going to convert. Just let that 10 seconds drop down to 3 seconds and see if you can get 3 to end the half.
52, 53 yards in this weather with this wind. I mean, maybe he could. I understand your point.
Or run the football, if that's the case.
Right. I understand your point.
He's been a pretty effective kicker in nasty conditions, but it's a moot point because they do get the sack. And it's going to be 7 apiece, and Clowney can take his celebration into the locker room.
And,
There's a few other guys trying to chase those plateaus today, too, by the way.
I mean, that's good defensive play. That's good